I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we're taking a closer look at the amazing Spider-Man Venom Inc Omega issue number 1, the grand finale to this crossover storyline. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop on in together and find out. Alrighty then, so as we rejoin the issue, Lee Price, aka Maniac, aka the villain of this story, has rejoined with all the different little symbiotes that he had sent out, growing in size to one massive super symbiote. Wait, why does he get bigger? I assume Maniac's costume looked so unfinished because he was just sending out small pieces of his own suit. Or wait, was he actually making newer, smaller symbiotes? And if so, how the hell did he learn to do that? It's not important, it's all very dumb. Apparently, growing to this size has made Maniac even more powerful than all of our heroes combined, for some dumb reason, even though the Mania symbiote never seemed to have any of these powers before now. Spider-Man basically tells Flash, hey, you're the anti-Venom now, why don't you go touch him and end this whole story, like you should have to begin with, only when he gets up there, he ends up getting batted away like a fly and almost killed. Next up, it's Venom's turn to battle Maniac. He doesn't do quite as well either. You'll remember I complained in the previous issue about Maniac's transformation, how he just looked like his old counterpart. Well, now he's changed inexplicably. He went from looking like crap to now just looking like a big burnt marshmallow with a spider symbol so small and undefined you wondered why they put it on there in the first place. Oh hey, did I mention Flash's sidekick Andy is in the story too? She still wants her Mania symbiote back, I think so, even though she doesn't really seem to need it. She's doing just fine with her Hellfire powers. Spider-Man, as if discovering that this story really isn't about him, tries to rouse Flash out of his coma, saying that he's a good soldier and good soldiers fight to the end and he's a good man and a good hero and a good boy. And also, why are you half dead when one of the powers of the anti-Venom suit is to create a bunch of healing goo? Now, even with anti-Venom back in the game, our heroes just can't seem to bring down Maniac no matter how hard they try. It's Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat of all people, who hits upon the idea that you can't actually be controlled by his symbiote twice, and how for some reason they may have resilient antibody genes in their blood that can be used to defeat the bad guy. Oh well, good job, Black Cat, where's your PhD? With this knowledge in hand, Spider-Man cuts his hand so he can give Flash some of his radioactive spider blood. This allows Flash to power up to Super Anti-Venom Instant God level 3. And it's badass because he grows spikes and sharp little protrusions from his wrist. Seriously, what is it up with the Spider-Man family of characters and growing sharp protrusions on his wrist? Don't tell Kane. With this new power-up, they're able to kill the Maniac symbiote and apprehend Lee Price. Wait, was not the whole point of this story about how not all symbiotes are created equal, some are good and some are evil? They sure didn't ask the Mania symbiote its opinion, huh, before they just killed it in cold blood. I mean, it had been on a hero before now, and furthermore, Andy's not even mad that they killed it, even though that was literally her whole reason for getting involved in this story and kicking it off in the first place. And with that, the day is saved, I guess. Spider-Man returns home, well, returns to where he's crashing currently with Mockingbird. She says that all this talk about symbiotic relationships is making her wonder where exactly her and Pete stand right now, and maybe, just maybe, he could get his own place. But by far the weirdest bit of this epilogue is actually for Black Cat. She says that her empire has been destroyed and that she can no longer be the kingpin of crime. What do you mean, destroyed? Your henchmen are still alive, they just had their brains controlled. It's not like he attacked your businesses or anything. Furthermore, if anything, you would be more respected in the underworld now for having defeated Lee Price. But yeah, Black Cat isn't a kingpin anymore, and she decides to take advice from Eddie Brock of all people about going back to being an anti-hero. And I mean, really, when you start taking important life advice from Eddie Brock of all people, you really are too far gone. So that was Venom Inc, everybody, a story that started out actually kind of fun, moved into harmless if dumb, and just kind of tripped on its own feet at the finish line. Lee Price was something of a failure as an anti-hero and as a leading man, and he proves to fail just as hard at being a villain. Flash Thompson gets to rejoin the Spider-Man family in a more active role as a hero, but the ultimate moral of the story was that Flash was always a hero and never needed a suit, so what was the point? I would hope that he would get his own book again, or maybe a spot on a team as Anti-Venom, but I get the feeling that depends on how well this story sells.
Eddie Brock was pretty much a non-entity in this story who leaves it exactly how he entered it, but this is going to be a big year for him with a certain Tom Hardy movie on the way, so I hope you're excited for the next 2 big Venom crossovers that are going to be happening soon. Hilariously, the character whose status quo was probably the most changed by this story was the one character who had the least amount of skin in the game to begin with, and that was Black Cat. I could probably bring up how that doesn't make much sense, her quitting being Kingpin, despite the fact that she is Kingpin in the Defenders, and this story clearly has to happen before Defenders because Hammerhead is still alive, but who cares? And you know what? That's a perfect sum up for this story in general. Who cares? I thought I cared until it turned out that I didn't care. Overall, I'd give this one a 4.5 out of 10. And that is mostly just for the Flash stuff. So that's Amazing Spider-Man Venom Inc Omega, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, why not check out some of these other ones I've been working on. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Joel, so you always know what new videos are coming out next. And hey, if you're in the market for something different from me, then head on over to the Joel Daily channel where I play video games. I'm just wrapping up Telltale Batman currently, and who knows what I'll play next after that. So until next time, everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye.